The only justification for eating meat is no justification at all. Or if it is a justification, it's the most selfish and vile justification you could possibly imagine. As vegans, we hear so many justifications from people who eat meat, from people who support the most disgusting, cruel, abusive, mass-murdering industry on earth. And make no mistake about it, that's what the meat industry is. For many years, people have used the argument of nutrition. You have to eat meat and dairy because you need the protein, you need the minerals, you need the vitamins. Of course, most of us know that the amount of protein that we actually need to consume on a daily basis to be fit and healthy has been deliberately exaggerated. It's been exaggerated by the farming companies who are owned or invested in by the mass media companies, and the mass media companies wanting to protect their investment in those huge global farming companies like to spread lies about nutrition and health and how we have to eat meat and eggs and milk and, you know, all these things are good for us. Of course, we now know that's nonsense. The World Health Organization itself, which is, you know, a pretty important voice on the matter, has given a statistic of how much protein a man and a woman needs every day to be fit and healthy, and it's a number that is far below the number that we're usually told by the mass media and people of vested interests. And of course we're also told that you can't get enough protein from a plant-based diet. Again, we all know that's nonsense. Surprise, surprise, plants, whole foods contain protein. I've been using Chronometer for about 6 months to log everything I eat during the day. I consume on average about 120% of all the protein that I need on a daily basis. I consume all of the protein that I need to be fit and healthy, plus an extra 20%. Well, I consume nothing but plants. My diet is a vegan diet, plant-based diet. I don't receive protein from meat or dairy. The protein that I receive is from plants, and I consume more than enough than I need. The other argument, of course, or justification these days, the more popular one, is B12. Now, there is some truth to that justification. You can't get B12 unless you eat meat or dairy. But consuming B12 is actually very simple. I buy B12 tablets. They're tiny, tiny, minute tablets from a company online called Nature's Best. They cost me £9.99 delivered, and you get 180 tablets for that money. It's as simple as putting a tablet in your mouth, taking a sip of water, and I get all the B12 that I need. So, if the nutrition argument has been debunked, what justification is there for eating meat? Well, actually, it's the worst and most horrible justification. I'm sure that you, watching this video, have heard friends and family say this, and it's just the worst thing to hear. When people say, I eat meat because I like the taste. I eat meat because I like it. I eat meat because I want to. That's a justification for eating meat, but of course it's no justification at all. Justifying the incarceration, the imprisonment, the forced rape, the pain, the suffering, the torture, and then essentially the mass murder of living things that breathe and eat and sleep and defecate and feel pain in the same ways that we do, justifying that pain and suffering and death by just saying, I eat meat because I like it, that's no justification at all. And if it is considered a justification, it's the worst justification possible. It's the most selfish, conceited, self-centered justification that anyone could possibly give. I cause pain and suffering and death to living things because I enjoy the taste of their flesh. That's no justification at all, and it's a justification that I'm hearing more and more from meat eaters, because, as I said, the other justifications are being debunked. The nutrition, the protein, the B12, none of those actually stand. None of those are valid anymore. They're lies spread by the mass media who invest in the big farming companies that cause the pain and suffering. But that justification of I eat meat because I enjoy it, it's no justification at all. And if people really thought very hard about what they're saying, they should be able to realise what a terrible, terrible thing that is to say. I support the death and suffering of animals because I enjoy tasting their flesh.